Yeah, come on.
Dad looked out for a lot of people, and 50 ain't do half. Like 50 literally looked out for my dad more than the people that my dad gave me.
50 Cent is on a relentless mission to expose Big Meech, claiming he's in possession of official paperwork that proves Meech cooperated with federal authorities. But the situation just escalated after Lil Boosie jumped into the mix, voicing his disapproval of how Lil Meech has been handling things. Boosie made it very clear, if anyone ever came for his father the way 50 is coming for Meech, he wouldn't be sitting back in silence. And apparently, Lil Meech took that message to heart.
Paperwork, you know.
Meech ain't like his response. It seemed like he got a genuine kind of love for 50 on his response. But, you know, my response, nigga, that's my daddy, nigga. Let's go to...
Rather than exchanging words, he's making bold, strategic moves. He recently linked up with Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather, two of 50's most notorious rivals. The timing was no coincidence. As expected, 50 didn't waste a second before firing back. He jumped online and called out Lil Meech, Rick Ross, and Boosie, making it clear he's fully aware of what's happening and won't let any perceived disrespect slide. Now the question stands. Is 50 simply stirring the pot for attention, or does he genuinely have a reason to feel betrayed? More importantly, what exactly is in that paperwork he claims to have? According to 50, those documents are official court filings that connect Big Meech to a third-party cooperation deal involving a former BMF associate who allegedly flipped and became a federal informant. Even though Big Meech has publicly denied all allegations of snitching, 50 refuses to back off. He insists the evidence is real and claims it reveals hidden details about how Meech's legal situation unfolded behind the scenes. With tempers flaring, alliances shifting, and reputations on the line, this brewing conflict has just taken a serious turn.
Like, keep showing up next to niggas that I don't f with. That's an indication to me he might have some feelings towards me. That is just everywhere I got an issue. You show up around him. So, I mean, you don't forget music, because music ain't usually my motivation. My morals come off the curb. So if you see a nigga keep being around, you'll f when you come around.
On Tuesday, February 25th, 50 Cent took to social media and dropped what he claimed were undeniable receipts. He didn't just talk, he came with screenshots. One of them was a message from YouTuber 1090 Jake, well known for exposing snitch allegations and digging into federal paperwork. According to both 50 Cent and 1090 Jake, the documents allegedly connect Big Meech's longtime associate, Tammy Cowens, to a major federal case. And if those files are authentic, they could completely change how people view the BMF legacy. This is where the situation starts spiraling into chaos. Fans and insiders are now questioning how Big Meech's prison sentence was reduced in the first place. 50 Cent fueled the fire even more by posting, "Tammy Cowens, the truth and nothing but the truth, coming soon, 1090. Jake got that paperwork tomorrow, you know the vibe." That post sent shockwaves through social media, sparking speculation that something much deeper was about to be revealed. What makes this twist even more shocking is Tammy's history with Meech. She wasn't just another associate, she was one of his closest confidants, a trusted business partner, and a key producer on 50's hit series BMF.
My son, 5 million. How much you made though? So you gonna stop? You gonna stop? Yeah, you made, yeah. You ain't just.
While Meech was serving time, Tammy was reportedly helping oversee his business affairs and keeping the brand alive. But now, whispers in the industry suggest she may have been secretly cooperating with federal investigators, allegedly using inside information from Meech to target major figures connected to the operation. Former BMF member Blue Da Vinci once claimed that Meech had appointed Tammy as the head of BMF Entertainment after his 2008 incarceration. But within just a year, rumors surfaced that she was working closely with federal agents. If these allegations prove true, it would mean one of Big Meech's most trusted allies was helping dismantle everything he built, a betrayal that would shake the foundation of BMF history itself. Before Big Meech's sentence was reduced, everything appeared straightforward, until these new claims surfaced, raising unsettling questions. Was Meech aware of any cooperation? Did he knowingly benefit from Tammy's alleged involvement with the feds? The debate online has been non-stop. Some argue that the so-called paperwork 50 Cent referenced isn't even new and doesn't directly prove that Meech was an informant. Others emphasize that nowhere in those files is Big Meech explicitly named as someone who cooperated with federal authorities.
50 Cent says that 1090 Jake found paperwork that proves Big Meech allegedly snitched. 50 Cent posted, Tammy Cohen, the truth and nothing but the truth coming soon. 1090 Jake tomorrow. Got that?
Still, the timing of his sentence reduction, paired with Tammy's alleged cooperation, is what's making people talk. And here's the thing. In certain federal cases, an informant's testimony or assistance can indirectly benefit someone else, even if that person never talks to the feds, signs any paperwork, or has any knowledge of the cooperation. By providing information that helps the prosecution, a confidential informant can unintentionally shift the outcome of another person's case entirely. However, whether the person who benefits from that information actually knows about it depends on several key legal factors. One of them is a sworn affidavit or cooperation agreement, a formal arrangement where the informant gives testimony or evidence that helps the government in exchange for leniency. When this happens, the prosecution or even the judge might grant a sentence reduction to another party, sometimes without full transparency. Usually, if someone's time is being reduced through this kind of agreement, they're aware of it and must sign off on the deal. But here's where things get complicated. There's a little-known legal loophole known as third-party cooperation. That's where an informant's actions benefit another person without that person's direct involvement or even their knowledge. And this is exactly where the BMF situation starts to look murky, because if that's what happened, it would blur the lines between loyalty, strategy, and betrayal in a way no one saw coming. If an associate provides critical information to federal agents, and that information indirectly benefits another person's case, the government can still reduce that person's sentence, even if they never spoke to the feds directly. Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's one of those legal gray areas that leaves plenty of room for debate. In that scenario, the individual technically didn't cooperate, but they still reap the rewards of someone else's cooperation. That's exactly why the third-party snitch argument has been sparking so much controversy online. It doesn't automatically mean Big Meech knew about any deal or had a direct role in it, but it certainly raises questions that people can't stop discussing. So if Tammy really did assist the authorities in a way that helped reduce Meech's sentence, the critical question becomes, did Meech know about it and approve it, or was it all happening behind his back? According to 50 Cent, Meech was fully aware and even provided Tammy with certain details that she allegedly passed on to federal investigators. But when you dig into the paperwork, nothing explicitly confirms that claim. If Tammy truly acted alone, feeding information to the feds without Meech's knowledge, labeling him a snitch could be a serious exaggeration. Still, that hasn't stopped 50 from turning up the pressure. He's using every opportunity to drag this drama into the spotlight and make it bigger than ever. He's publicly calling out Meech and anyone in his circle, fueling the fire and forcing others to pick sides. One of the first to jump into the conversation was Boosie, who couldn't resist dropping his own take on the entire situation. Things escalated quickly after 50 accused Big Meech of being a rat and took shots at the entire Flannery family. The situation turned deeply personal, and that's when Lil Meech decided to respond. He fired off a text directly to 50 Cent, and before long that private message exploded across the internet, dragging the entire feud into the public eye. In the leaked text message, Lil Meech confronted 50 Cent directly, writing, "They just told me you unfollowed me on Instagram, and now you're managing Skill Abba with Rocket, the same person I introduced you to. You didn't even know who he was back then. Now you're mad at me? I would have given you the shirt off my back." The tone was emotional and frustrated, clearly showing Meech felt betrayed. But he didn't stop there. Lil Meech continued, saying, "I can't believe this, man. You're acting like I'm your enemy when I've only ever shown you loyalty and respect. I'm human. I go through things, but I never switched up on you." He wanted to make it clear that his actions weren't rooted in betrayal, but business. Addressing the viral Rick Ross link-up that ignited the entire controversy, Lil Meech clarified it was strictly financial. "Forget Ross," he wrote. "He gave my dad some bread so he could pay his bills until our next season starts. This internet got me twisted, man. You know me in real life." But 50 Cent wasn't having any of it. He responded sharply, dismissing Meech's message and effectively cutting him off from the BMF series altogether. His reply was short and cold. "What next season, Lil Ninja?" instantly signaling that their partnership was over. Then, as only 50 can, he doubled down on the trolling. In a follow-up post, 50 mocked the situation, joking that Lil Meech's next acting gig would be on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. "I'll give Mona Scott a call for him later today," he wrote, fueling the online firestorm. The move was ruthless but calculated, vintage 50 Cent behavior. He didn't stop there either. He threw even more shade at Rick Ross while questioning Big Meech's parenting decisions, insinuating that misplaced loyalty and poor judgment were to blame for the fallout. To twist the knife deeper, 50 dug up old footage of Lil Meech with Rick Ross's daughter, Toy Roberts, from when they dated years ago. Without missing a beat, he posted it online, clowning Meech publicly and making the feud even more personal. What started as a business disagreement had now evolved into an all-out social media war, with no signs of slowing down. 50 Cent used that old clip like ammunition, reigniting the fire by questioning why Rick Ross never stepped up to help the Flannery family when Big Meech was behind bars. He posted, "Why old boy ain't look out for Meech and send him to acting school? Big screech, all your people out here doing nothing for him. You come home thinking you the Black Pablo Escobar and mess it all up." It was a brutal reminder that 50 felt he'd done more for Meech's family than anyone else ever had. Then, he doubled down. 50 reminded everyone that he's the one who kept the Flannery family financially stable during the tough years. He bragged, "I helped your family make over $5 million in legit money. It's not my fault it's all gone." And just to drive the point home, he threw in another jab, mocking Big Meech for wearing his son's jewelry, writing, "B, give the baby back his jewelry." The internet erupted. Meanwhile, Boosie was asked about 50 exposing Lil Meech's private messages, and he didn't mince words. He made it clear that he didn't respect how calm and polite Meech's response was. Boosie said that if someone disrespected his own father like that, there wouldn't be any talking. He would have gone off instantly. To him, Lil Meech was being way too soft in the face of blatant disrespect. But 50 wasn't letting that slide either. He clapped back at Boosie, claiming he's done far more for Lil Meech than Big Meech ever did. He even posted a clip of Boosie's interview with the caption, "I did more for Meech than anybody in his life. Boosie, that's why he responded like that. If he ever got locked up, I'm the first one he'd call. I bailed him out every time." That statement made things even more personal. At that point, Lil Meech stopped trying to reason with 50 altogether. He didn't respond online, didn't post any cryptic messages, and didn't feed into the drama. Instead, he made his statement quietly but powerfully, by linking up with 50's two biggest rivals, Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather. That move alone said more than any text or tweet ever could, and that's where everything reached a brand new boiling point. The tension between 50 Cent and Rick Ross has been festering for well over a decade, one of hip-hop's longest-running feuds filled with diss tracks, business jabs, and public humiliation. So, when Lil Meech decided to link up with Ross, it wasn't just a casual hangout, it was a statement. A move that instantly reignited old wounds and made everyone realize this feud wasn't dying anytime soon. Things escalated quickly after Big Meech's release from prison. The timing of it all was almost cinematic. Then came Floyd Mayweather, another major figure in 50's history. Once close friends, their relationship imploded years ago after a mix of financial disputes, betrayal, and harsh words traded online. So for Lil Meech to appear alongside both Floyd and Rick Ross at the same time, two of 50's biggest enemies, it was a bold, calculated move that no one could ignore. On February 21st, Lil Meech dropped a photo on Instagram showing him hanging out with Floyd and Rick Ross at Lucky Strike Bowling Alley in Miami the night before. The image went viral instantly, but he didn't stop there. Another picture followed, this time featuring just him and Floyd, both rocking pieces from Meech's Red Letters clothing line, a brand he personally gifted to Floyd as a show of loyalty and appreciation. But what really lit the fuse was the caption. Lil Meech wrote, "Real Power." That wasn't just a compliment, it was a direct shot at 50 Cent's hit show Power, a series that 50 has proudly built his empire around. The jab was subtle but deadly, and fans caught the shade instantly. To make things even more dramatic, Big Meech himself made a surprise phone call during the meetup, speaking live with both Ross and Floyd as cameras rolled. That moment sent shockwaves through social media, symbolizing a clear shift in alliances. And of course, 50 Cent wasn't about to let any of it slide. He fired back immediately, posting a clip of Lil Meech chatting with Rick Ross and cracking a brutal joke in the caption. He said, "Yo, tell your pops I'm gonna look out. What's the address? I'm sending some wings over there. The jab was a direct mockery, blending humor and humiliation the way only 50 can, and it sent the internet into a frenzy once again. Classic 50 Cent style trolling, sharp, strategic, and dripping with sarcasm. But beneath the humor, one thing is now crystal clear. 50 Cent is officially finished with the Flannery family. After everything he invested, from putting their legacy on the map through the BMF series to personally mentoring Lil Meech and helping him break into Hollywood, 50 feels deeply betrayed. This isn't about clout or headlines anymore. For him, it's personal and permanent. With Lil Meech now publicly aligning himself with Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather, two of 50's most notorious rivals, the message couldn't be louder. The bridge is burned, and there's no path left for reconciliation. What started as a partnership built on loyalty and legacy has now crumbled into open hostility, and the feud is escalating with every post, caption, and interview. Fans remain divided. Some argue that 50 has gone way too far, publicly dragging Big Meech and Lil Meech, airing private details and pushing unverified paperwork without solid proof. They see it as unnecessary, especially given how much 50 benefited from the BMF brand himself. But others defend him fiercely, saying he's simply standing on business, protecting his reputation after being disrespected by people he once helped rise to fame. There's no denying that 50 gave Lil Meech one of the biggest opportunities of his life, transforming the BMF story into a global phenomenon. Yet now that legacy is caught in a storm of betrayal, pride, and accusations that may never be fully settled. Whether the paperwork is real or not, the damage has been done. So where does this leave things? Is 50 Cent taking it too far? Or is he right for calling out disloyalty when he sees it? And most importantly, do you believe the paperwork really proves Big Meech cooperated with the feds? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more breaking stories and industry deep dives. This one, it's far from over.